All right, so are you ready to dive into Unity 6?
Always ready.
We've got a mountain of release notes to uncover.
Well, yeah.
And we're going to find the hidden gems in there.
Absolutely.
For anyone working with Unity, whether you're a pro or just starting out,
Total.
Unity 6 is a big one.
Huge.
It's not just one release.
Yeah.
It's bringing together updates from previews 2023.2,
Right.
2023.1.
It's a lot.
So much to unpack.
We're going to cut through the noise, though.
Yeah. No more boring future lists for you.
Definitely not.
We're going for those they can do that now moments.
Exactly.
And then we're going to show you how to actually use these tools to make your games even better.
That's the goal.
So let's jump in.
Let's do it.
First up, workflow.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but anything that saves me time and clicks is a winner for me.
Huge time saver.
And Unity 6 is packed with those little quality of life improvements that made a big difference.
Yeah, I'm excited about the piercing menu.
Piercing menu.
Yeah, it was in one of the Unity 6 previews.
Okay.
It's for those times when you're trying to select an object.
Right.
And you're clicking the wrong thing.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
In a crowded scene.
That's frustrating.
Just hold down Control and right-click.
Okay.
Boom, menu pops up with everything under your cursor.
No more wrestling with tiny objects.
Exactly.
Hold on, are you telling me I can finally ditch that workaround I was using?
You got it.
This is going to change my life.
I know, right?
And how about those new script creation options?
Oh, yeah, those are great.
Mono behavior, scriptable object, and blank script.
All separate menu entries now?
It seems like a small thing, but
I know what you mean.
it just makes sense.
Makes creating new scripts so much smoother.
It's the little things.
They add up.
And you know what else is great?
What's that?
The accessibility hierarchy viewer.
Oh, in 2023.2.
Yeah.
Nice.
This new window analyzes your UI's accessibility structure.
Right.
Making navigation easier for all players.
Yeah. Makes your games more inclusive.
Because games should be for everyone.
Absolutely.
Okay, now let's talk graphics.
All right, let's do it.
Unity 6 is bringing some serious heat.
Oh, yeah.
With new features and improvements.
That will make your games look stunning.
I'm really excited about the screen space lens flares.
Those are awesome.
Imagine you're working on a beautiful sunset.
Okay.
And you want to add those perfect lens flares.
Makes it look so much better.
Well, now you don't have to manually place them.
You're kidding.
Nope. In 2023.1, Unity made it so lens flares are generated from all light sources.
Oh, wow.
Including emissive surfaces.
That's incredible.
And it works with HDRP and URP.
So everyone can use it.
But you know what really gets me excited?
What?
The GPU resident drawer.
Now that one is a bit more technical.
It is.
But it can have a huge impact on performance.
Especially when you're dealing with lots of instances of objects.
Like those speed tree assets.
So basically, it lets the GPU handle the heavy lifting of object instancing, freeing up your CPU for other tasks.
Smoother frame rates.
Yes, especially in those massive detailed scenes.
Nice.
And this next one is a lifesaver for anyone working on mobile games.
Okay.
Or projects with limited memory.
I'm listening.
Dynamic shader variant loading.
It's a mouthful.
I know.
But important.
It means that Unity only loads the necessary shader chunks into memory.
Instead of everything at once.
It streamlines things.
And keeps your game running smoothly.
Especially important on mobile.
Where memory is precious.
All right, let's dive into some specific rendering pipelines.
That's good.
Starting with URP.
One of the biggest additions is temporal anti-aliasing.
TA.
Yep, arrived in 2023.1.
Smoother edges.
Less shimmering.
Makes your games look polished.
It's a significant visual upgrade.
But there's a catch, right?
You're sharp.
What is it?
It's not compatible with MSAA or dynamic resolution.
Ah, so you'll need to consider the trade-offs.
For sure.
And what about those of us who can't use TAA?
Don't worry.
What did they do?
In that same release, they gave FXAA a nice quality boost.
So it's a solid alternative.
When TAA isn't an option.
Okay, good to know.
And there's more. URP now preserves the alpha channel in post-processing.
Wow.
They introduced a new alpha processing feature.
Oh, wow.
In the Unity 6 preview.
So many possibilities for transparency effects now.
I know, right?
Things that just weren't possible before.
It's going to be exciting to see what people create.
I know.
Okay, so what about HDRP?
Yeah, what are some of the highlights there?
Well, get ready to be amazed by the water system enhancements.
Water system enhancements in 2023.1.
They really went all out with this one.
They did.
We already talked about dynamic water removal.
Right, which is amazing for scenes with boats.
Or underwater caves.
Yeah.
And flow maps for realistic currents.
Oh, and the water line?
The water line.
That subtle line where the water meets an object.
Oh, yeah.
Adds so much realism to anything partially submerged.
It's those small details that can make a huge difference.
In how immersive your world feels.
For sure.
Okay, I have to admit, this is one of those updates I'm geeking out about.
Me too.
It's all about creating those wow moments
You got it.
for the players.
And Unity 6 is another one of those.
Which one?
With Pro Builder.
Oh yeah, Pro Builder's fantastic for 3D modeling.
And level design.
They made it even better.
Even better.
No.
They got rid of that separate window.
No more separate window.
Nope, all the Pro Builder actions are right there in the scene view.
That's so much better.
So much smoother.
It's like having a powerful modeling tool set.
Right at your fingertips.
And that's just one example of how Unity 6 is making life easier.
For developers.
Yeah, another one of those workflow wins is the package manager overhaul.
Oh, the package manager.
The new navigation.
Yeah.
The scoped registries. The improved search.
It's all so much more streamlined now.
I know. The package manager has become such an essential part
It really has.
of Unity development.
Absolutely.
This update makes it so much easier to find.
The packages you need. I agree. Speaking of essential tools, the memory profiler got some love too.
What did they do?
In 2023.1, they added the ability to see metadata for audio clips and shaders within the memory profiler.
Interesting.
Now, this might sound technical.
It does a little.
But it's a huge help when you're trying to track down memory leaks.
Oh, I see.
And optimize your game's performance.
It gives you more information.
Exactly.
To figure out what's going on.
And that's critical for creating smooth,
and
stable experiences.
Especially on mobile.
Okay, I think it's time we circle back to XR.
Oh?
Because Unity 6 has some exciting advancements.
In that area?
We already touched on visionOS support.
Right.
But it's worth diving a little deeper.
Yeah, visionOS is pretty groundbreaking.
Apple is known for pushing the boundaries.
They are.
And visionOS is no exception.
What's really cool is how Unity is enabling developers
to what?
To use the unique capabilities of the Vision Pro headset.
Things like foveated rendering.
Foveated rendering.
It intelligently focuses the highest graphical detail where the user is looking.
So it maximizes visual quality.
While optimizing performance.
That's amazing.
It really is.
And it's just one example of how Unity 6 is at the forefront
of immersive experiences.
But let's not forget about all those other XR platforms out there.
Right. Unity 6 has something for everyone.
It's not just about the shiny new platforms.
It's about making sure developers have the tools they need
to create amazing experiences
across the board.
And that brings us to those XR package updates.
Ah, yes, the package updates.
I know they might not sound as exciting
as some of the other features we've talked about.
But they're crucial.
Absolutely crucial.
Keeping those XR packages up to date can make a world of difference.
It's all about compatibility
Stability.
And access to the latest features.
And there are some important updates in Unity 6.
For example, the ARCore and AR Foundation packages.
What do they do to those?
Got bumped to version 6.0.3, bringing a bunch of improvements.
For who?
For AR developers. Better tracking, more accurate plane detection, and more.
And what about Oculus?
Oculus package update to version 4.3.0.
Ooh, nice.
That brings support for the latest Oculus headsets.
A
whole bunch of performance optimizations.
To make VR experiences even smoother.
And more immersive.
These updates are a constant reminder
of what?
That the XR landscape is constantly evolving.
It is new hardware, new software, new possibilities.
It's exciting.
And Unity 6 is making sure developers have the tools to stay ahead.
Speaking of staying ahead,
yes,
there's another area of Unity 6 that deserves a shout out.
What's that?
The foundational improvements.
Ah, yes, the foundational improvements.
These are the updates that you might not see directly.
But they make the engine more robust.
More efficient?
And more future-proof.
A great example of this is the new graphics jobs threading mode.
Called
split graphics jobs.
Ooh, that one's interesting.
It's a bit technical. But basically, it reduces unnecessary synchronization between threads.
Okay.
Leading to smoother performance.
And better utilization of multi-core processors.
Even if you're not a graphics programmer.
You'll benefit.
Exactly.
It's all about making the engine work smarter.
Not harder.
And another example of this behind-the-scenes optimization is how Unity handles project manifest files.
Interesting.
They made some changes to make those files more robust.
And less prone to errors.
Which can be a huge time saver.
I can't tell you how many times I've run into issues.
With those manifest files.
Just a small change.
But it can save you a lot of headaches.
Absolutely.
And they've even made some platform-specific improvements.
Oh, like what?
Like the new Application Exit Info API for Android.
For Android?
Yeah.
What does that do?
It helps developers understand why their apps might be crashing.
Or experiencing those ANR errors.
Exactly.
So it gives developers more information.
And more control.
I like it.
And while we're on the topic of Android, they also added a new player setting.
What does it do?
It lets developers control which devices can use the Vulkan Graphics API.
Okay.
Which can help ensure your game runs smoothly.
On as many devices as possible.
Exactly.
All right, we've covered a ton of ground here.
We have.
From performance optimizations to XR advancement.
To those foundational improvements.
That lay the groundwork for the future.
The future of Unity.
And what a future it's shaping up to be.
I know, right?
Unity 6 is pushing the boundaries.
It really is.
Of what's possible in game development.
They're giving developers the tools they need.
To create truly innovative
and immersive experience.
But hold on.
What is it?
We're not done yet.
There's more?
There's still more to explore in Unity 6.
I can't wait.
So don't go anywhere.
Okay, we'll be right back.
For the final part of our deep dive.
Where we'll wrap things up.
And discuss the broader implications.
Of all these amazing updates.
See you soon.
Welcome back, everybody.
All right, so we dove deep into some of the highlights of Unity 6 in part 1.
Yeah, we covered a lot.
But there's still so much more to explore.
There is.
And I know there's one area that I am particularly excited about.
What's that?
Performance improvements.
Ah, yes. Who doesn't love a good performance boost?
And Unity 6 delivers.
Oh, it does.
Both in URP and HDRP.
It's not just about making things look prettier.
No, it's about making them run better.
Exactly.
And I think we should start with HDRP.
Okay, good place to start.
Because there's one feature that I think is going to blow some minds.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
HDRP Path Tracer now supports decals.
What? No way!
Yes way.
Decals were already pretty cool.
I know
We're adding extra details.
But now with path tracing?
They're gonna look incredible.
Ridiculously realistic.
Think about it.
I am.
Realistic weathering effects.
Oh, yeah.
Intricate surface imperfections.
All rendered with incredible accuracy.
It's like a dream come true.
For detail lovers.
And speaking of details, remember those water system enhancements?
The water system enhancements? Oh, yeah, those are amazing.
We already talked about dynamic water removal.
For things like boats and underwater caves.
Right, and flow maps.
For super realistic currents.
The water line.
Don't forget the water line.
That subtle line where the water meets an object.
It just adds so much
Realism.
to anything partially submerged.
No.
Unity outdid themselves with these water improvements.
They really did.
It's those small details.
That make a huge difference.
In how immersive
your world feels.
And speaking of making things more immersive, Pro Builder got a major streamlining.
Oh, yeah, Pro Builder.
Such a fantastic tool.
For 3D modeling.
And level design.
They made it even better, though.
They did. They got rid of that separate window.
No more separate window.
All the Pro Builder actions.
We're right there in the scene view.
It makes the workflow so much smoother.
It's like having a powerful modeling tool set.
Right at your fingertips.
Without having to constantly jump between windows.
Another example of how Unity 6 is all about making life easier.
For developers.
Another workflow win.
What's that?
The Package Manager overhaul.
Oh, yeah. The Package Manager.
New navigation.
Scoped registries.
Improved search.
Much more streamlined.
Intuitive.
It's become such an essential part
of Unity development.
I know, right?
This update just makes it so much easier
to find and manage the packages you need.
Speaking of essential tools, the Memory Profiler got some love too.
Oh yeah, what did they do?
They added the ability to see metadata for audio clips and shaders within the Memory Profiler.
So what does that do for you?
Well, it helps you track down memory leaks.
Oh, okay.
And optimize your game's performance.
It's like having a detective's magnifying glass.
For your memory usage.
So you can find those sneaky leaks.
And create smooth experiences.
Especially on mobile.
Now, I think it's time we circle back to XR.
Back to XR.
We talked about Vision OS support, but I think it's worth diving a little deeper.
I agree.
Because Vision OS...
it's pretty groundbreaking.
Apple's known for pushing the boundaries.
They are.
Of user experience.
Right.
And this is no exception.
What's really cool is how Unity's giving developers the tools they need
to harness
the power of the Vision Pro headset.
We're talking foveated rendering.
Spatial audio.
Hand tracking.
It's like stepping into the future.
Of interactive entertainment.
And Unity's making it accessible.
For everyone.
Not just seasoned XR developers.
Exactly.
But it's important to remember.
What's that?
It's not all about the shiny new platforms.
Right. Unity 6 is something for everyone.
And that brings us to...
the XR package updates.
Ah, yes. The package updates.
I know they might not sound as exciting.
As some of the other features.
But they're crucial.
They really are.
For keeping your XR experiences
running smoothly.
And compatible with the latest hardware and software.
Absolutely.
For example, the AR Core and A Foundation packages
got bumped to version 6.0.3.
Nice. Bringing a bunch of improvements for AR developers.
And the Oculus package.
Updated to version 4.3.7.
Which brings support for the latest Oculus headsets.
And a whole bunch of performance optimizations.
To make those VR experiences even smoother and more immersive.
It's a constant reminder
of what?
That the XR landscape is constantly evolving.
New hardware.
New software.
New possibilities.
It's an exciting space to be in.
And Unity 6 is making sure developers have the tools they need.
To stay ahead of the curve.
Speaking of staying ahead of the curve, there's another area of Unity 6 that deserves a shout-out.
Oh, which one?
Foundational improvements.
The foundational improvements, those are important.
These are the updates that you might not see directly.
But they make the whole engine
more robust.
More efficient.
More future-proof.
It's like reinforcing the foundation of a building.
You might not see it.
But it makes the whole structure stronger.
A great example of this is the new graphics jobs threading mode.
Split graphics jobs. It reduces unnecessary synchronization between threads.
Which leads to smoother performance.
And better utilization of multi-core processors.
Even if you're not a graphics programmer.
You'll benefit from these improvements.
It's all about making the engine work smarter.
Not harder.
Another example of this behind-the-scenes optimization is the way Unity handles project manifest files.
Oh yeah, those things.
They made some changes.
To make those files more robust.
And less prone to errors.
I've run into so many issues.
With manifest files in the past.
This is a small change.
But it has the potential to save developers.
A lot of headaches.
And they've also made some platform-specific improvements.
Like what?
Like the new application exit info API for Android.
What does that do?
It helps developers understand why their apps might be crashing.
Or experiencing those dreaded ANR errors.
Exactly.
It's like having a black box recorder.
For your Android app.
I like it.
And while we're on the topic of Android, they've also added a new player setting.
What for?
To let developers control which devices can use the Vulkan graphics API.
So it's all about making sure your game
runs smoothly
on as many devices as possible.
We've covered so much.
I know, right? From performance optimizations
to XR advancements
to those foundational improvements.
And they're going to shape the future of Unity development.
What a future it's shaping up to be.
I know. Unity 6 is pushing the boundaries
of what's possible.
And it's giving developers the tools they need
to create innovative
and immersive experiences.
Hold on. There's more.
We're not done yet. Relax.
There's still more to explore in Unity 6.
All right, lead the way.
So stick around for the final part of our deep dive.
Where we'll wrap things up.
And talk about the broader implications of all these amazing updates. We're back for the final part of our Unity 6 deep dive.
I feel like we've been on quite a journey.
We really have.
Uncovering all these hidden gems in Unity 6.
And trust me, there are still a few more surprises in store.
Oh, really? Yeah. I'm all ears.
Remember how we talked about dynamic shader variant loading?
Yeah, in part 1.
Game changer for performance.
Especially on mobile.
Well, Unity 6 goes even further with shader optimization.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Well, they've optimized how the engine handles shader compilation.
That's something that happens behind the scenes.
It does, but it can make a huge difference.
In what way?
Development time.
Faster iteration times.
Smoother workflows.
Basically less time waiting around.
For those shaders to compile.
I like the sound of that.
And you know what else I noticed?
What's that?
Some changes to how Unity handles asset importing.
Oh, asset importing can be such a pain.
Especially in large projects.
It can really slow you down.
But with Unity 6...
What did they do?
They optimized the process.
To make it
faster and more efficient.
So less time staring at progress bars.
More time actually creating.
I am all about that.
And speaking of creating,
yeah.
Remember we talked about accessibility?
Making games more inclusive.
Yeah. Well, Unity 6 introduces a new accessibility feature.
What is it?
That I think is just brilliant.
Tell me.
A new text-to-speech component.
Oh, wow.
Imagine you're developing a game with a lot of text,
Right.
and you want to make it accessible to players.
With visual impairments.
Now, you can easily add text-to-speech functionality.
That's incredible.
It's one of those features that makes you wonder,
Why wasn't this there all along?
and it shows Unity's commitment
To making game development more inclusive.
for everyone.
Okay, so we've talked about text-to-speech,
Shader optimization,
asset importing improvements.
but there's one more thing we need to talk about.
Okay, what's that?
Vision OS support,
Vision OS, that's a big one.
the Apple Vision Pro headset.
Game changer.
And Unity is right there on the front lines
Empowering developers.
to create these mind-blowing immersive experiences.
So this new platform.
Our possibilities are endless.
We're talking about experiences that blur the lines between the real and the virtual.
It's like stepping into the future.
Of interactive entertainment,
Foveated rendering,
spatial audio,
hand tracking,
and with Unity's intuitive tools.
even developers new to XR can jump right in.
And start creating.
We've talked about a lot of amazing updates,
Yeah.
improvements,
New features.
but I think it's important to step back,
And think about.
the bigger picture.
What do you mean?
Well, Unity 6 isn't just about individual features.
Okay.
It's about a philosophy
A vision.
for the future of game development,
It's about empowering creators
giving them the tools they need
to push the boundaries
to tell stories
in new and innovative ways
and to connect with players.
on a deeper level.
That's what makes Unity 6 so exciting.
It's not just an engine
It's a catalyst
for creativity,
and innovation.
a tool that allows developers to bring their wildest dreams to life.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Unity 6,
What are your final thoughts?
I want to leave you with this.
Okay.
What will you create
With all these advancements,
in performance?
accessibilities
The possibilities.
are truly limitless.
Go forth.
Explore. Let's
Experiment.
create something amazing.
Don't be afraid to push the boundaries.
Try something new.
Break the mold.
And remember, this deep dive is always here for now.
If you ever need a refresher on Unity 6,
Just come back and revisit our conversation.
happy developing, everyone.